5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the Pete in the Pod podcast. My name's Pete. This is my pod, and this is my co-host Simba Matshe, A.K.A. Simba from AFK, A.K.A. Quinn. Wait, Simba from AFK? You play yourself in AFK? A.K.A.
I play myself
Quinn.
in AFK.
Quinn from AFK, A.K.A. Quimba. Oh, man, I am not on point today. I'll tell you what.
Dude, wow.
I'm just not feeling good. I got a bug. I got a little common cold.
That old thing.
Yeah, the only thing common about me is this cold that I've got. Such an asshole thing to say. I'll be honest with you. I'm so glad that when I do the editing for this, that when we do the countdown, I cover us up with the thumbnail. Because you and I are just like 5, 4, 3. Like, what's with the head bobs? I have no idea.
Hey, it helps. It helps with counting.
Yeah. We have an exciting guest today.
Yeah.
Her name is Gitana.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to talk about her in a little bit. But as per usual, before we get into the guests, it's time for you and I to talk Pete and Simba.
Yeah, man.
For us to have our little catch up.
What's been going on, bro? What's been happening with you besides your common cold?
Well, my cups have shrunk. That's
yeah.
Mm.
You know, the more I see that cup, the more I hate it for some reason. It's bothering me now, man. I don't know what it is.
Okay.
I don't know.
It's just like,
no, get it away from me. Get it away from me.
If I drink it like that, it looks like a regular cup. Back and then you're like, oh my God, what is that? What is this? A cup for ants?
It needs to be at least 3 times as big.
That's so funny.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, so I'm struggling with a little cold at the moment. It's fine. Like nothing gonna slow me down, and nothing gonna break my stride. I'm we've been trying to get this guest on for the last 2 weeks. Last week we had a little bit of this is our 3rd international guest, which is really exciting.
Oh yeah.
And last week we had a little bit of I didn't realize that our Sunday was her Saturday. So when I told her to be on our podcast on a Sunday, she was sitting there on a Saturday, like minding her own business, getting all these messages from me, like, where are you? And she's like, a day early, that's where I am. So that's
where you at?
Yeah, that's on me.
Yeah, man, time difference is mind blowing.
It is a problem, but we'll get there. I've been good, man. Like I'm pretty devastated at the moment. I don't know how you feel.
Dude, I am heartbroken. Actually heartbroken. Found out yesterday that one of my heroes has passed away.
Yeah.
Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah, that's pretty
A.K.A. Black Panther, A.K.A. the man I aspire to be, A.K.A. what the fuck. Crazy, man.
You know, like it's a weird thing. And I think like when you're a geek, right? Oh, Simba froze. He froze on the nicest smile too. That smile though.
Dude, that was so crazy.
What the fuck just happened?
You went completely, you just completely froze. Like,
was it me? You completely froze.
Oh, no way. For real.
Yeah, I don't know which one of us completely froze, but we both completely froze. That's a problem.
That was so weird.
Yeah, she's still in the waiting room, thank God.
Okay, cool.
So, anyway, I think let's go back to where we were.
Yeah.
I was just saying, like, when you're a geek, it's like you're part of this secret family.
Yeah.
Of people who appreciate the same things and people who grew up on the same things and who were shaped and molded by the same things. Like I was shaped and molded by comics and superheroes and Marvel in particular, growing up and getting a bit older and the MCU coming out. And that stuff was just like, holy heck, the stuff that I was a loser for in school has now made me cool.
Right.
You know, or has been made cool. So like, and you know, that's why like I cling to things like AFK and I cling to things that are like, just like exciting stuff like this, right?
Yeah.
And when one of your heroes falls, it's hard.
Dude.
You know, like Chadwick Boseman was like, I mean, we don't even need to get into the cultural significance of Black Panther as a film and all that stuff.
Right.
It's the fact that he was one of the elites.
Yeah.
You know, the IDJs, the Chris Hemsworths, the Chris Evans. Like Chadwick Boseman was in that echelon of Marvel, royalty.
Yeah.
Black Panther was one of the biggest characters.
Right.
Arguably bigger than Hawkeye. Like, arguably a lot bigger than Hawkeye. And he was one of the original 6.
Right.
I keep forgetting Hawkeye's a character, if I'm being honest. So, like, I'm devastated. I'm drinking. Out of respect, I have my Marvel t-shirt on.
Oh, yeah. No, out of respect, I got my
Black Panther
mug. Rocking it. Be rocking that the whole day.
Anyway, let's dedicate this podcast to Chadwick Boseman, even though he had no idea what it was and wouldn't, if he was alive, would not give 2 fucks.
Right.
We love you, Chadwick. It's not about us. It's about you.
Yeah, it's about you. Exactly.
So that's yeah. What
Crazy.
else is on our agenda to talk about? We had a mean night last night.
Dude, we did, man. We had so much fun. Oh, so much fun.
I'm just so you guys know, I'm going to start streaming soon. Simba's going to be a big part of that. We're probably going to stream on Twitch and maybe sometimes on YouTube, but mostly Twitch. And last night we were just testing out the software, and a couple of us got together and we started playing Fall Guys. Yeah. And that was so fun.
Yeah.
It was like, I feel like I found my hidden talent. I think I was pretty good.
Well, I don't know. Slime Climb got you a couple of times.
God, Slime Climb. Don't even get me started on the Slime Climb. It was,
Slime
Climb was absolutely devastating that round. It took me down. Actually, I'm not going to use the same word I used to describe Chadwick Boseman's death for a round.
Slime Climb.
Slime Climb and Chadwick Boseman are not on the same level. It was a terrible round. I sucked at it so much. Dude. The frustration was real, but I can imagine it would make for good streaming. So
heck yeah. I had a ball, man. It's so much fun. It was so good. That's
gonna be exciting. I'm really looking forward to actually doing streaming and just like getting to play games and interact with people live. That's gonna be so much fun. And also there's a little thing called the BNG. I don't know if anyone's aware of what that is. It's called BNG. It's the Big Nose Gang. So we're gonna be doing a little bit with that soon. But essentially, what it will be is we're gonna create a private Facebook group for people who actually are interested in the content and people who want to interact with us to be part of that. And then they can they can skip previews to the content. They can know when stream dates are going to be. They can see the podcast, see the vlog, see all that sort of stuff up close. When short films that we make come out, we can put links to them in there. Web series, stuff like that. If we, anything that's really me and Simba and a couple of other YouTubers that will probably get amongst it and be, honorary members of the Big Nose Gang, we'll give them like privileges to be able to show off their content too and kind of create a little family out of it. And that's really exciting, I think.
Heck yeah.
I've got a couple of other guests down the line lined up to do podcasts with us. A YouTuber who lives in SA, but she's Greek. And her name's Actrix. And, there's a couple of other YouTubers that I really like. A singer in the UK who, it's all going to be like an international podcast soon, more international guests.
It really is, man. Yeah, look at us.
Also, the last podcast we did with Peter Haynes, the Peter Haynes from A.K.A. If you haven't checked that out, check it out. It's amazing. It's my favorite podcast we've done so far because we get to talk about my favorite show with my favorite actor and my favorite Kiwi director.
Stop it.
All the one.
Stop it.
Listen, I'm my favorite actor.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah. But we've talked enough about you. We need to get to our guest, man. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to gab it up with Tina. It's gonna be cool.
I've been like trying to build up because there's so much to say about Tina Gitana.
Right.
She is an actress, a model. She was a Pussycat Doll Tribute.
Yo.
She's a YouTuber.
Yeah.
A dog lover, and that ranks high in my books.
Oh, very high.
She's a soon-to-be lawyer. She's studying to be a lawyer.
Dang.
And she's a go-go dancer. And she's my friend. And she's very cool. She's, she's an extremely talented person. The list of things she hasn't achieved is smaller than the list of things she has achieved. Let's just put it that way. She's very worldly. She's traveled all over the place. She currently lives in Nevada. This is the crazy thing, the link between us. Her puppy's name is Nova, or her dog's name is Nova. My dog's name is Nova. We'll invite her in, but without any further ado, Tina Gitana.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Yeah, good.
Feeling good?
A little under the weather, but that's okay. Yeah, I don't know what happened. We were waiting to talk to you.
Got cold.
Sorry? I think there's a little bit of a time delay. Say again?
Do you have a cold?
I do. I do.
Okay.
It's I thought I had I'm corona free, thankfully.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. So it's just a little common cold, which is a little bit annoying. It's kind of put me on my butt for the last couple of days, but
I'm sorry to hear that.
oh, thank you. I'm feeling better now. I'm feeling a lot better now. I've got my thermos with my peppermint tea. I'm medicated for multiple reasons, and we're ready to go. So Tina, you do everything.
I don't know.
How is it possible?
What do you mean?
Well, you are an actress, a model, a Pussycat Doll Tribute, a YouTuber. Was, but still, that's an accomplishment.
Still, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're a dog lover, you're a YouTuber, you're a soon-to-be lawyer, right? Like you're studying law, and you're a go-go dancer.
If they hire me.
I got a good feeling for you. I'm confident for you. And is there anything you don't do? Like, is there like a martial arts that you do as well? Like, or?
I'm actually really terrible at martial arts. It's just not my thing. My parents tried to get me into it when I was a kid because it runs in my dad's side of the family. My great uncle's actually famous in Brazil. You can Google him. His name is Chan Kao Kwai, and he brought Kung Fu to Brazil in the Sao Paulo area in the 60s. So he's like really well known over there. So it runs in our family. She tried to put me in there and I was just like, ow! So, such a girly girl. So she's like, we're going to put you in dance. I was like, good. And then I excelled at that. So dance was my thing. And martial arts I love it. Like I love watching it, but I don't think I can do it personally.
Yeah, fair enough. That's interesting. I've got dance in my family and they try to put me in that. I'm so uncoordinated. They put me in martial arts and that didn't work out either. So now I do nothing.
Well, you're good at interviewing. You've got a YouTube channel, so
thank you.
It's not easy, is it? People think it's really hard.
You got to find your niche. You got to figure out what it is you're good at. Like Simba's good at acting.
I just have to say, it's so lovely to hear someone say niche. Because in America, it's niche. And every time someone says niche, it's like nails on a chalkboard. I'm like,
oh, God. Niche.
Really?
That's the worst.
It's just so cringe sometimes. It's just like,
wow.
And niche. Oh.
So you currently live in the US?
I do, yeah. My mum lives here, my stepdad lives here, and I've got family here, so yeah, it's like my base, and I've got family in Canada as well, and everywhere.
But you're pretty well traveled, right? Like you've been around. So like because you were living in the UK before?
I was, yeah. I spent half my life in the UK, so
right.
And just back and forth, but I'd say half my life in the UK consistently, and sometimes America, sometimes Canada.
So which do you prefer?
The UK.
Fair enough.
There's things that I really love about all countries. I mean, every country has its pros and cons. All governments are fucked up, right? So you can't be like, one is amazing. Literally all countries has they have their issues. What are you doing? She wants to like wants to overshadow me. Speak over there from the corner. Okay, so but I like the UK just because I think, you know, I spent since I was a teenager, it was the UK. So most of my, you know, what has really shaped me has been in the UK. So I'm used to the culture there. You know, I just miss going to the pub and just having a lunch. You know, you can't really do that here. It's different. Have you ever been to America?
No.
I have, yeah. Yeah.
Have you been to an American pub?
No, actually, I haven't.
Don't go. You're not missing out on anything.
Oh, okay, good.
Like they try to make it look old. It's just really weird, though. It's just so strange. It's more like a bar that looks like a pub, but no families, there's no dogs. It's not a pub. Like there's no families and no dogs. It's not a pub.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Is that like dive bars and stuff, right? Like,
yeah, it's very weird. It looks like a pub, but it's not.
yeah.
That is super weird. Oh man.
And I just miss the culture. You know, it's a totally different culture over here. It's very different. And just generally,
it is.
You know, Americans are lovely, they're nice, but I feel like a lot of them, not all of them, you meet some who are really, really worldly, but a lot of them are very just America this and America that. You know, it's just very encompassing here.
That's interesting. Because the thing is, like, America's kind of broken in, like, the states are kind of, like, very isolated, right? Like,
yeah, they all have their own jurisdictions and their own rules. It's very strange. It's like, you call yourself the United States, but you're not really united. They're just, it's very weird.
Yeah.
But, yeah, and then look at us now. You know, it's broken.
Yeah.
We're winning at something.
Yeah. That's so funny. That's so funny. And there's like it's like red states and blue states, and there's like it's really weird.
It's terrible. There are places where Simba and I couldn't go. Maybe you kind of look ethnic. There's places where, as an ethnic, you cannot go.
Yeah.
Like I know places in West Virginia. I used to have really close friends there. There were places where we could not go, or we would probably get shot or something.
Really?
Shit.
Yeah. Some places in West Virginia, some very southern places, very red states. I'm not saying all red states are going to be racist or whatever, but those places still exist where if you're ethnic, you're not safe walking around. And that boggles my mind because I've never been to a place like that. I just heard about places like that.
Right. Yeah.
That's
and
crazy.
I think that's the thing that people don't understand, that those places still do exist.
Exactly.
Right? We're in 2020, but no, that shit still happens.
No, it's so unreal to me.
Yeah, I agree. It just doesn't seem real to me. Like, but the thing is, like, we're so sheltered in New Zealand, like, and I've never really been anywhere except for like Australia. You know, growing up pogo and stuff, my family didn't take me anywhere. but you know, it's just real interesting to me. Like, there's just like even the most dangerous places in New Zealand, you're pretty safe. Like, and I couldn't imagine a place where, like, it's so weird. Like, I went to a party one time in New Zealand, and there were skinheads there, and one of the skinheads came up to me and was just like, "You're Greek, but you know what? I actually met a Greek girl and I thought she was all right, so you're all right." And that was the most like racially charged conversation. I'm just like, oh, okay. I was like,
wow.
Thanks for measuring me against the one Greek person you met that you liked. Like, I'm glad you didn't meet a Greek person you didn't like and then stabbed me. You know what I mean? Like, but
that would have decided your fate right there. It's like, I met a Greek guy, he was a bellend, so I'm going to kill you now, you know? Yeah.
That's so weird. But I mean, that just doesn't happen like that here. I don't think. Exactly. Like, there's nowhere, like, I feel like you would feel unsafe to go in New Zealand, right, Simba?
No, not at all. Not at all. Yeah. I think that's another thing. If you go somewhere and you're not starting any trouble, nothing will happen to you. But I feel like in like some places in the States, if you go somewhere, even though you're minding your own business, you know, people might start shit with you.
That's crazy.
I think that's the difference. It's weird.
And also, everyone has guns, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy because Vegas is considered as a red state, even though it's very liberal. I mean, Nevada, but because Vegas is so liberal, because we've got so many tourists and people from everywhere living there. But everywhere you go, you get the corner shop, and you get a bookshop, then you get a gun shop. You just get gun shops just right there, like beside a normal shop.
That's
like,
so crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just insane. There's just guns everywhere, and there's some states in there's some states in America where you can buy guns at Walmart.
That's nuts. Imagine going to Kmart, Simba.
What?
And just
And being able to buy a gun?
Yeah, I grab some regular
Milk, some eggs.
Yeah. Shotgun shells, like no big deal. Just
AK-47, just the regular shopping for today.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
That's
just
nuts.
I'm very uncomfortable with the gun laws here. I am. Very lax. I'm not one of those people who say that they should completely be abolished, but I think the average city dweller doesn't need a gun. It's different. I've seen country dwellers where they grow up in that culture. I've seen the boys handle guns. They're very responsible. And when you hear about the school shootings, it's never these country boys from West Virginia or whatever. It's the city boys who got hold of the gun.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a totally different culture, the city and the country. I don't think everyone should not carry one. If I was living in the country and there's nobody around, you feel like you need some sort of, but if you're in the city, it's you don't really need one.
Totally. We don't really have the thing in New Zealand is our gun laws are pretty good in the sense that semi-automatics have been banned. Yeah. So we have, but I mean, if you have people just don't have pistols. It's just not like that. Most people go to if you have a pistol, you go to a pistol club. It needs this real special kind of license to be able to own a pistol, and the kind of safe, the kind of safe you need in your house and that kind of stuff. And even if you have a regular, just a single shot rifle type situation, you have to have your ammo stored separately from the rifle, and police come around and do checks. I mean, there has been some, blunders in here and there, but I mean, we don't really have that kind of. We've had one. We had that mass shooting a little while ago, which is pretty horrific. But that guy wasn't even from here. I mean, he was an Australian guy who came to New Zealand, and that was the first one in 50 years?
Yeah.
It's just we have really different gun laws here, that are and really different kinds of guns, and I think we have more guns per capita than America actually. Because we're very rural.
Whoa.
So statistically, we have more guns per capita because every farmer has one. But but you just don't hear that kind of thing happen. But it's a very different. America's quite charged, right? It's a very there's a lot of tension in America, and it's just, and there's a lot more gangs, I think, as well, right? There's a lot more gangs.
Oh yeah, the gang problem here is terrible. Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah. Do you have guns, Simba, at all? Do you have...
What, in the house?
No, do you, are you a gun... You're not licensed, eh?
Nope.
Is that ever something you're doing?
No, not really. I can't see any reason that I'd ever get a gun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not in New Zealand.
So, it's interesting... This came up. I'm actually going to sit for my gun license.
No way.
Yeah. So the reason for it is I've done a bit of target shooting in the past. I'm not a hunter. It's not my thing. I'm not really. I don't really want to go hunting. I just don't really want to I mean, yeah, it's just not my bag. But I love target shooting. Right. But the real reason is my dad, all my uncles have, and my dad have the gun licenses, and they used to go target shooting and do a bunch of stuff. So my dad's got a bunch of guns, and if my dad ever passes away, God forbid, right? That's so funny. I'm not even religious. That's just such a.
That Greek just came out right now.
Yeah, it totally did.
my Anna Greg just if ever that were the case, his guns will go somewhere else. Or the government would own them, and I would like to keep them in the family. Do you know what I mean?
That makes sense.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if I have a license, they go to me.
Harmless. You're just a hobby, and you're target shooting, you play shooting, or whatever. That's you.
Yeah.
I actually went. So I've never even really used guns a lot in my life. And I went to a wedding. It was one of my best friend's weddings. And I was the MC there. And they did claybird shooting.
Cool.
And a couple of people had a couple of claybirds and they were bragging about it. And I got 6 for 6. Every time I just couldn't miss. Like, it was unbelievable. And so I was like, obviously I'm naturally gifted. I'm going to have to follow this up. Did claybird shooting another time. Didn't hit one clay. I couldn't even. It was so bad. Honestly, it was the biggest waste of money. Same thing happened with archery. We did it. Hannah bought me for my 30th birthday. She bought me an archery thing, and me, her, and and my cousin and his wife went down, and we were all doing the archery thing, and I couldn't miss. And no one could even hit the board. I was getting close to bullseye every single time. Did it again? Nothing.
Wow. You should take it to the Olympics.
It's unbelievable, though. I just like everything I try, I'm good at once, and then I just fail consistently after that. So
that's so weird.
So wow. Okay. So have you ever been to New Zealand, Tina?
No.
Is it something you'd want to do one day?
Of course. I want to go everywhere.
Mm.
But, money, time.
Yeah, totally. Global pandemic, things like that. Yeah. Now you got some friends. Have you got any other friends in New Zealand?
No, I don't.
Now you have me and Simba.
Hey, exactly.
Yay.
When you come over, we'll show you around.
Mm.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
We live in different cities, so that's we'll meet.
How far away do you live from each other?
About 9 hours.
Like, 9 hours drive.
9 hours.
Flight.
A 9-hour drive. It's about an hour on a plane.
Oh, it's not bad.
Yeah, we see each other quite frequently.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
I travel for work quite a bit around New Zealand. So when I'm in Auckland, Simba and I always make a point of hanging out, which is really cool.
Yeah.
It makes the trips easier.
Oh, definitely does. And then my mum lives down in Wellington, same city as Pete. So whenever I go down to see her, I always make time for my buddy.
Yeah, it's cool. We actually met in Wellington. Somebody used to live in Wellington. So we met at a party one time, and we freestyle battle rapped.
You met at a party.
Yeah.
That is so funny.
Yeah.
Have you got like crazy stories about each other?
Maybe a couple.
Maybe one or two, but like nothing really nothing scandalous. Do you know what I mean? We're pretty well behaved. I know it's boring.
What about the scandals?
One time, can I tell the story? I'll tell it, and if you don't want me to tell it, then we'll cut it out of the podcast.
Okay, sure. Yeah, go for it. No, I don't know what story you're going to tell, but yeah.
One time, Simba and I went to a party. This is the weirdest party. Like, so many things happened in this night. And this was when I was going through my I want to be a rapper phase, which hasn't stopped.
No, it hasn't stopped.
That phase.
Yeah, which that phase started when I was 16, and I'm and it's been going
last week.
Yeah, has been going since. Yeah. I was freestyle rap battling people at this party. So people like other people who wanted to be rappers. So we would make fun of each other, like an 8 Mile, right? Have you seen 8 Mile?
Yes.
Yeah. I was like
exactly like
I was like a young Greek Eminem, Eminem, that's what it was back then. And so and there was this one guy, I can't even remember who he was, if I'm being honest with you, but I was like not great, but he was way worse. So I beat him in a rap battle, and he was getting really, really annoying, and he kept following me around and getting aggressive and hostile. And Simba's not a violent person. Like he's sweet.
He tried to fight you with his rhymes.
No, after he lost the rhyme fight, he tried to fight me with his fists.
With his fists.
Oh no, that's crazy.
But he was this big. So he was very unintimidating, and it was confusing. So I wasn't even really engaging. I was kind of just making a drink and being like, what's going on? And Simba, who's not an angry person, turns around and bangs the table and goes, "If you want to mess with him, you got to mess with me." And the guy shit himself. He apologized and was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And then he just left. And then Simba looks at me and just starts laughing. Like, it was just 100% acting. And that was the day I know Simba was my favorite actor in the entire world.
Acting.
I actually like called you out on it and just was ready to fight.
Oh, then I would have.
Oh, yeah. Would have jumped in there. Would have jumped in there. Yeah.
Simba's not a coward.
No,
He's not a coward. He just refuses to. Yeah. Plus, this guy was like, honestly, like he'd have to jump up to punch you in the knee. Like that's how.
I'm always ready to fight. Just bottle him.
Yeah, totally, exactly.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to catch these hands. I don't have to do martial arts. I just dance, and I'm so uncoordinated. I'll accidentally get him with an elbow or something.
In England, it reminds me of like my early uni days. 18 years old, and we were all taught as well, because you are at that age, you know what I mean? You just think you're so fucking tough.
Yeah.
And my friend, like, our line would be like, if you keep fucking with me, I'll glass you.
Oh, glass?
If you keep fucking with me, I'll fucking glass you. I'll glass you, mate. I'll glass you. Like, we would never do it. It never happened. But it people so just get a crazy look in your eyes and they just back down.
I love that.
Oh, thank God they didn't actually.
I love that so much. Fucking glass you, mate. Smallest coffee cup in the world. I'll fucking glass you, mate.
This picture's crazy.
Yeah. I'm gonna glass you. It's gonna take a long time with this tiny cup, but I'm gonna glass you, mate.
It's so disgusting when you're that age. Like, I remember being like sick. I mean, like, really sick. I'm taking like fucking Lemsip and like hacking and coughing. Yeah, let's go to club. Come on, I'll be fine. Just down some Lemsip with some vodka, and you're like, and then no one can hear you hack, so you talk to the boys, and you're like, 1 second, the music's so loud, and you're like,
yeah.
I would never go out even for a coffee if I was ill now, But wow,
that's so funny.
Things you do.
Yeah.
Did I freeze and disappear?
No. Yeah, you did for a second, eh?
Did I freeze mid glassing someone and then I disappeared?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry about that. Jesus. My phone. Okay, I gotta put my phone on silent. This is so unprofessional. Apologies.
No. It's my connection. It's my connection because I live in a really remote woodsy area, so the reception is so shit here. It's not you. It's me.
But you're coming across crystal. You guys.
You're coming across fine.
It was just me. I just disappeared. So. Yeah.
I know my connection's bad here, though. It always is. So.
I like to tell you something. So you and I have so many, like, a few things in common. Aside from that, we're both YouTubers and all that. Like, and we both have dolls.
Well, I don't have your magnificent archery skills, so.
Well, you live in Nevada, right?
I used to. I kind of temporarily moved back with my parents east because of COVID, because my club shut down. So no point staying there.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah, so I live on a street called Nevada.
I thought it was so funny.
Isn't that crazy? I was like, yeah. So I was going to ask you a question and then I just cut out completely. I'm so sorry about that. Listen, I don't know why my internet connection is so shit today. So I was going to ask you, what made you want to get into the YouTube game?
Oh God, I joined YouTube literally like over a decade ago. When it wasn't a thing. Yeah. And I was silly and young and just wanted to those were the days where you just upload literally anything.
Yeah.
And it was just such a small community and nobody got paid. So it was just interesting at the time because it was new. So I just opened it. But it's one of those things where I always had a channel and then I'd go for years without uploading anything. And then I had like a couple hundred followers like way back then. And then I only started taking it seriously recently, like maybe a few years ago, like when that article was written about me. And then, now that we get paid for it, I'm monetized. So it gives me more incentive to keep doing it. But it is hard. Sometimes you don't feel like doing anything, but if you stop uploading for a while, things start to drop and your paycheck starts to, get smaller. So yeah,
I feel that. So you don't have a regular upload schedule. You just kind of upload whenever you feel like it, right?
I am so sporadic. It's terrible. And then if I upload a vlog, I'd have like nothing, and then a handbag like thousands of views. So it's just like I knew where my audience was. Then when I started school, I had a huge, Pete, do you remember when you shed viewers and you're getting worried because your sub count dropped?
Yeah.
When I started law school and started uploading like law related videos, my sub count dropped a couple hundred and I gained another couple hundred.
Whoa.
Like over time. But it's like I literally saw my subs shed. It's like, oh, she's doing law school videos now. Ew.
Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. So, you know, it's like there's a middle ground. And you know what I said to myself? I said, I don't want to be pressured and I don't want to feel obligated. You're kind of like locked and chained. Yeah, and I don't want to do that. So even though the advice is you shouldn't do whatever you want until you're bigger, I just couldn't help it because I wasn't happy doing it. I remember making handbag videos and it was coming through my videos. I'm like, here's a handbag. And I was just like this fake plastered smile, like, I'm so glad to be doing another handbag video.
That's where the acting comes in.
And I was like, I can't do this. You know, even if my audience hates it, I want to upload whatever I want to upload. Yeah. So I did lose a bunch of vlogs because of that. And I think I backtracked myself because vlogs don't make that many views. They just don't. The ones that make views usually are like the tutorials or things that your algorithm is catered to. I will always be like, whenever I release a handbag video, I'm always at the top because I think it's the way my channel has been done over the years. So it's already, I guess, accustomed to that. I don't know how the secret algorithm, it's all mysterious, right?
Yeah,
but I feel that it still has something to do with how you started out, how you kind of developed, how the algorithm works for you. Yeah. So because I still have handbag videos that get a lot of views, whenever I do release a handbag video, I don't have any problem with SEO. Yeah. So
it's so frustrating because
it is,
no one tells you. And
I haven't listened and I just do whatever I want. And I have accumulated a new audience that doesn't mind my absolute random uploads. Like, oh, today's the handbag. Oh, today's law. Oh, today's Nova.
Yeah, I was watching the video the other day where you released the lizard into the wild.
So random. I'll be like talking about like summary judgment one day, and like, oh, look at me with the lizard.
It's funny. I think that's better. You do whatever you want, and I think that's how you should do it. And that's how you should.
Yeah.
I actually so the other day when I put that thing up in particular, I actually don't care if I lose subs. I'd rather weed my audience down to 10 people who really enjoy my content.
That's exactly why I do it. You want to have an audience who actually enjoys you as a personality.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, and I mean, perhaps you can do a few videos here and there that do get the views, but don't just like obligate yourself to just do those things. You're just going to be miserable. And it's better to slowly and organically grow an audience that likes what you do.
I think that's why I've always kind of struggled into getting into like YouTube. Is all of the advice I always heard was like, find a niche. You have to have something very specific that you do and that you talk about. And I know my personality. I can't do that. If I do one thing for too long,
Simba, you don't have a channel?
No, I don't have a channel.
You know,
because I can't do that and because I'm lazy.
Okay. Well, being lazy is one thing, but don't listen to all the advice because literally it doesn't matter what you do. You could literally upload the most random, nonsensical bullshit and someone's going to like you. No, it's true, right? It's like, I always tell people it doesn't matter if you don't have the perfect idea or the perfect niche, just start because you're going to gain subs no matter what. You just have to keep uploading. Even if the quality is shit, even if the videos aren't so great, there's always someone that kind of likes you. You know what I mean? And I've had people that have reached out to me this year and they're like, I started watching you back in 2009. I'm like, wow, you've seen a shit show of my channel. Like,
that's funny though.
I mean, they're like, I've been following you since, and it's really great to see your journey. I'm like, I'm so glad I could be like your dumpster fire for the last 10 years.
That's funny.
But that's awesome though.
It is really sweet though, but it's so weird that you have people like watching you for years and years and years, and they've never said anything until now, and they know me better than like I have never met them, and it's so weird, but it's cool. I appreciate the support, you know, and you know,
Do you watch any big YouTubers?
Huh?
Do you watch any big YouTubers?
I do. I don't know what you consider big. Like, I mean, I know it's cliche, but I think PewDiePie is funny. But I'm not like one of those like hardcore, like, oh my God, like I literally just subbed to him this year.
Yeah.
Like I've always known about him, and I'm one of those weird. I'm kind of weird in certain ways. Like if something is so hyped up, it almost puts me off it.
Me too.
Like, I'm exactly the same.
Okay, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you know when Breaking Bad was like so amazing, like it was, you know, I was just like, oh no, I didn't watch it. No, I didn't watch it. Once it ended, I was like, okay, let's get into it. And I got so into it. And I just binge watched it for like a month straight.
Yeah.
And like I loved it. But I don't like when people are like pushing and just, I don't know. Just something off.
I was like that with Game of Thrones.
Exact same.
I haven't got into it yet. I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah. Spare yourself. It's like there's a lot like it's slow. It starts off slow and then it finishes worse than it starts. There's like a few seasons in the middle that are good.
Is it really as amazing as people say?
Nah. I barely even watched all of it. I think I watched season 1, skipped to season 5, and then just carried on from there.
Okay.
Wait, what? No, you can't do that.
Dude, season 1, some guy's banging his sister, and I'm just like, what the fuck is this shit? I'm not watching it. This is out of control. I was like, I don't care what society's always trying to make like shit.
Like, oh my God.
Yeah. Society, you're not gonna make me a freak, you know that? Like
Hey, listen, there's more to that than the show, okay? There's a lot of stuff that happens. So you gotta watch all this.
I plot twisting is really good. And I was told that I would like it because I don't like things that are predictable.
Right.
So yeah. Have you guys watched Dexter?
Yeah.
Yes.
Love Dexter.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of Dexter.
Made me want to grow up to be a serial killer.
I'm rich with the real Dexters in the world.
Yeah. saving us from
Instead
killing.
of innocent people getting killed, you know, there was a code.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
So if true psychopaths, so if you're an actual true psychopath, you don't have the empathy to care about a code.
Yeah, I agree. I think like he's like Batman almost, except instead of putting people in jail, he just murders them. Yeah, and I like that. Batman doesn't murder enough people. Everyone goes on about how Batman's this Dark Knight. He's puss, doesn't kill anybody.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, and I don't condone murder, by the way. Just joking.
Yeah, me too. I don't.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Unless Batman doesn't, then it's cool. Like I don't give a shit.
Bat stars or whatever they're called.
Yeah, that's cool. So you've been YouTubing a fair amount of time. That's really
Sorry,
cool.
1 second. I have to plug the. Go ahead. I'm just gonna plug my laptop. It's dying.
Oh, yep.
I started YouTube 2 years ago. Actually, more than that, 3 years ago, and I got like fucking over it real quickly.
Yeah, you did.
It was like
I do remember that.
It was like it was in 2017. I did 7 videos, and then I just thought, fuck it, I'm not doing this. It's way too hard. And then 3 years later, I was like, no, I'm still desperate for attention.
I'm back.
And I'm gonna start 2 YouTube channels. You know, like so here we are. Have you ever seriously considered creating a channel?
Yeah, of course I have.
You're really funny and like entertaining.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I can never figure out what I'd want my channel to be. If that make I could like sit in front of a camera and talk or like go out and do stuff, but I don't know. It just seems like so much work. Yeah. And I feel like I would. Well, it is.
It is like the editing takes me so much time.
I literally edited all day yesterday for a 15-minute video.
Oh my God.
All day, yeah. And you don't. But the thing is, if you like it, you don't. I mean, I recognize it's work, but it doesn't feel like
Yeah, I actually
But-
Right.
I love
I actually
editing.
like it, but it does take a long time sometimes, and it is work. But I mean, it's not like so miserable where I hate it.
Yeah, it's enjoyable. Like I find that a lot of the time, I'm nowhere near as funny as I make myself seem in editing. Like I think editing makes me funnier. So like I'm like shit. Like I'll watch a video I filmed. I'm like I gotta get to work. Like this is gonna take a while to make this shit watchable. You know, so like it's like.
No, I'm not funny. That was funny.
But yeah, I don't know. So I really enjoy the editing process of it, but it takes ages, and I really love going over. Like I have to pull myself back because I want to go over the top with editing all the time, put way more shit in it, and then I'm just like, Pete, no one's like for like this 1 second thing you've done in the video that people aren't even going to remember you did. Just like let the video go. But yeah, it is a lot of editing. But you can hire editors on Fiverr. Like real cheap. You just send them your footage, they edit it for you overnight, and then you get it the next morning.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't do that, but I can't trust people to edit my videos.
I don't trust anyone to edit my videos either.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't be able to trust anyone to edit my videos either.
It's you. It's you're like representing yourself, right? So,
right, exactly.
There's loads of good free apps about, so.
Yeah.
Sure.
I use Adobe Premiere Pro. Yeah, it's like a very expensive software, and I'm not going to say whether or not I paid for it.
Which you're basically admitting that you didn't pay for it, so.
I'm not confirming, not denying. But Tina's my lawyer if they ever come for me, so I'm not.
Right.
Oh, God.
I'm a pirate, bro. Is that, yeah, it says
Listen to your lawyer. Listen to your lawyer.
My lawyer's advised me to stop talking. This is all inadmissible. It's all for like entertainment purposes. I legally purchased the software.
Right.
Oh, I gotta stop.
Allegedly. That's the word.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah. That's so funny.
Oh man. So yeah, speaking of law, like Tina, how long have you been like how long are you in your degree at the moment? Like how much more do you have to go?
I've already finished 2 law degrees in the UK, and I'm
what?
Yeah, I did, and now I'm doing my LPC. I don't know if you have that in New Zealand. Do you?
I have no idea what that is.
Okay. It's basically, see, in law, it's just like this soul-destroying process. Like even after you've been through absolute hell and gotten your degrees, they're absolutely worthless until you go further. And you either do the LPC course or the bar course in the UK. And each of those courses are even further, it's more soul destroying because it's a year of intense, concentrated, procedural kind of work. So at the end, there's 14 exams that we have to pass. And I was actually on the bar first. I wanted to be a barrister in the UK. And I failed 2 exams of the 14, and that required me to go back and do everything all over again. So you have to go through the whole course. It's not just exams over there. It's like every day, like it's like a full-time job. You're being trained every single day, and you have to do everything all over again. They don't just
Holy shit.
There was actually a student who sued. He didn't sue. Yeah, he did. He tried suing the school or something because he only failed 1 exam. So he was basically saying that he should have a right to just do the 1 and get his bar qualification, but that's not the way it works. You have to do them all and pass them all.
Did he lose?
Yeah, you can't just make up 1 or 2 or whatever.
So he lost the court case.
Yes.
That's even further justification that it needs to go back.
And they said it wasn't within their jurisdiction or something because it's with the school. So you can't go to the, I don't know who he went to. God, I have to read the case again. But it was basically, they were saying they can't make the decisions for the school because that's that's up to the BSB, the Bar Standards Board. And no one's above them when it comes to us and when it comes to the law, like law school and law students, Yeah, the government can't step in and be like, you can't, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, so after failing the bar, it was just so tough because I shouldn't have been on that course at that time. It was just too much shit going on in my life. My father he was diagnosed with a very aggressive form of lymphoma. So, and then I lost my last dog. I know some people just don't understand that, but I'm sure you do as a dog lover. His family, you know, I grew up with this dog, and I had to watch him being put down on like on Zoom, like on FaceTime.
Man.
That's horrible.
While I was in school, so it really fucked with my head, and like, I was having nightmares, and I just couldn't focus. And I really should have just been like, I'm just going to push it off until next year. But then you have people that are like, just get over and done with. Just get over it. This is the worst advice, especially when you're a dog. You need 100% focus. So in the end, I didn't pass those two, and I tried to get mitigating, and it just pissed me off because there was a lot of other students who did fake sick notes and got mitigating, and I actually told them my real issues and told them what was going on in my family. They didn't listen to me. So
wow.
Yeah, and it's just like, wow, you know, that's what you get for being honest.
Yeah.
But fake sick note, you're effective.
That's bullshit.
That is bullshit. Yeah, that's so shit.
Yeah, so, you know, a few years pass after that, and I'm like, what do I really want to do? Do I really want to be a barrister? And the thing is, barristers are confined, well, not confined, but it's for the UK. You know, you go to bar school and finish the bar in the UK to be a barrister in the UK, but I actually wanted to work for like a fashion house and be a cross-qualified lawyer. I don't need to be a barrister for that. So I just wanted to go back and do my legal practice course, which is solicitor route.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'm en route to be a solicitor and a dual master's in international commercial law. So after this year, I should be qualified. Well, we still have to do more to be qualified. We still have to get a training contract or have experience, but I will have my qualification after that.
That's so cool.
That's amazing.
It's just been a hell of a really long road, and you get a lot of bellends, you know, especially within people who are trying to drag you down. When Legal Chic wrote the article about me, there was a lot of just absolute right pricks, just like, oh, you know, just turning their noses up at me because I'm not Oxbridge. I didn't go to Oxford or Cambridge, or, you know, I'm not typical. You know what I mean? It's just like, a lot of people just trying to discourage you through the whole route.
Yeah, I really admire the fact that despite the fact that you didn't make it through the bar the first time, you decided to carry on. It's so easy. Most people decide to give up on things. And
well, I did give up for a couple of years.
But that's okay.
No, but the point is you're coming back. You're coming back.
And coming back, I mean, the thing is, I quit YouTube for a couple of years, and then I'd come back, and that in itself was a big enough task, or something for me to like a fear that I had to get over. So like, it's really cool. I kind of have a firm belief where like I don't listen to anything anybody says ever, like no advice. Like I don't give a shit.
I'm like that as well.
So like when people sit there and say, "Oh, do this, do that," like, or I like when people try to tell you they know what's best for you, I always just nod and smile, and they're like, "Oh yeah, that's great," and then do whatever the fuck plan on doing anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So like it's real cool to see that you kind of like, despite everything, you just picked up, soldiered on, and just you're back in it. That's
awesome. Like stick to your guns. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's really cool. So have you always wanted to be in law? Like, has that always been something for you?
That was the only thing academically I enjoyed, because I came from an artistic background. Like I excelled in my arts class at school, that I always had a separate project from the rest of the class. Like art just came naturally to me. Like a lot of artists in my family, I guess I just, you know, it's very easy for me. Music came easy for me, dance came easy for me. So I actually wanted to go to like an art school after high school, but you know, my mum was like, at that time she was more, you know, either study something that's going to make you money or you're on your own.
Yep. I got that same talk.
Yeah.
Right. So the only, you know, they don't want to invest in something. They just envision you as a starving artist trying to feed yourself if you go to art school. So I chose law, and I actually really loved it. So I do love law.
That's cool.
That's amazing.
Imagine trying to tell your dad you want to be a rapper. That was a hard conversation.
Or tell your dad you want to be an actor. Yeah.
I told my dad that. I was like, oh, he's just like, you're going to go study computers. I was like, no, mate. Listen to me, all right? I'm going to be a rapper. Okay. I'll be the Greek Eminem. Don't worry about it. And he goes, you go computers. That's where the money is.
What would your rap name be? What would it have been?
My rap name? Lil Greasy. I don't know. I don't know. Pete's Vlogs.
Something more at the end of it.
Yeah, something wog, super wog, maybe King of Sparta. I don't know. I haven't really put a lot of good things. You know?
Oh, yes, you.
I beat a guy at a rap competition because he was terrible.
You beat a rap? You really?
No, that's what you said. You said he was so terrible that you beat him.
Oh, well, yeah, that's right. I beat. Yeah, I beat.
Yeah. Tell your parents. Well, I beat a guy because he was absolutely terrible. So I'm good.
I beat a guy who was more terrible than me. Eminem didn't start great. I'm sure he was, like the cat sat on the mat or whatever was his first initials, initial rhymes, and then he kind of worked his way up into whatever he raps about now. Who the hell knows what he's rapping about these days?
He is talented. I feel like all those years of, he grew up very rough.
Yeah.
And I feel like that has a major impact on a lot of artists. You have all that pent up, anger and hurt, and they just channel it into an artistic thing, and it's just amazing.
It's crazy. I think that's why the music itself appealed to me so much when I was a kid. Because I remember me and one of my other friends, Mitchell, we were 16, and we lived and breathed rap music. And there was a rap battle competition held at a bar, and we couldn't even get in without our mums coming with us. No, it wasn't Mitchell. Sorry, it was my friend Matt. Me and my friend Matt. All of us, we loved them. So we went there with our mums, and there were all these dudes. And by the way, I wasn't like your normal 15-year-old, 16-year-old. I looked 9 when I was 15. I was scrawny. I had pimples everywhere. You're
like, my mum get in it. Yeah, my mum.
Glass you, mate. No,
What, my mum will glass you?
Honestly, we went to this rap battle. Our mums had to sign us in. Everybody was so nice to us. All the big gangster guys, they were like, oh, your mums are lovely. I went up on stage. Everybody's rapping. And I'm like, I'm going to give him a chainsaw. And I was just like, people were like, what is this? Mickey Mouse is on stage battle rapping right now. I didn't make it through one round.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was so embarrassing. And my mom was just so proud of me at the time.
That's not easy to go up in front of an audience. I think public speaking, just publicly performing, is probably amongst the top 3 of biggest fears for people, phobias.
Yeah.
That's true. It's something that now, it's so crazy. That shaped a lot of my life, because from there, after doing that, you're not afraid of really ever being on stage again. If you can get up in front of the biggest, one of the guys in the rap battle said to me he was going to beat me up in the car park, and I left immediately afterwards because I was like, I might beat him up in the car park.
That is, that says a lot about him, especially that you look 9.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah,
I know, and I was so I was unbelievably skinny. I looked sick. People thought I was a Make-A-Wish kid who just got
the opportunity.
I know. I mean, I don't look like that now.
You're not that funny.
Yeah. No.
You look sick and skinny. You're under the weather.
Exactly. I'm just trying to appeal to people to subscribe so that I can, oh, we feel bad for this guy. Let's give him a little subscribe over here. I'm kidding. That was me then. Now I'm different. Now I'm.
So let me ask you, okay, so you quit YouTube. So when you quit YouTube, how many subscribers did you have when you quit?
I had 100, but then I lost a whole heap because I didn't do it for 2 years. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I'd only got to 100.
My subs kept hanging on. I don't know why.
Yeah, I think, I don't know why mine left. I think I only did 7 videos. That's the thing.
Okay.
I did, and also in 3 years you lose a few friends. You know what I mean? I lost a couple of the friends. I got into a relationship. I stopped seeing a bunch of people that I don't see anymore. They're probably good for me to not see anymore. So you know, so it's I didn't care that I lost them. I almost wanted to start from scratch. And you know, I've only been doing it for a couple of months, and I'm loving it now, and I'm consistent, and I make my own rules, and it's just like I can do whatever I want. That's why I think Simba should do it, because dude, my channel's called Pete's Vlogs, and I haven't made a vlog for the last 3 weeks. Like I just make random videos where I do whatever I want, and I don't even care what anyone thinks anymore. But
That's really good.
yeah, but
I think especially the more, you know, you haven't been at it, you said a few years, no, a few months you said, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's really good. And, you know, you just keep at it, and eventually you're going to kind of fall into place.
Yeah,
you're
I hope so.
Know exactly what your audience likes and kind of find a middle ground of what you like as well as your audience.
Yeah, totally. Like it's so weird. When I did it initially, I did it for all the wrong reasons. Okay. I did it because I wanted to be a YouTuber, not because I wanted to make content. It was just, I want to be seen as a YouTuber. And now I don't give a shit what people see me as. I just want to make the videos I enjoy making. And then whatever happens from that kind of happens as a byproduct. And the podcast has been so fun. I get to hang out with my best friend, you know, and like meet new friends and make new friends, which is so exciting.
Yeah. Who says I'm your friend?
Okay, well,
wow. Okay, we're ending this.
Before you came in, I introduced you as my friend, so you got to.
You both are lovely.
Oh, yeah.
That is amazing. It's really good, and I think that's what will dictate your success. Is that you do what you love. Your passion emanates through your videos. You know, and it is the wrong reason. Yeah. You're right when you say, you know, people just want to do YouTube because it's the thing to do. Right? It's in style to be a YouTuber. It's the cool thing to do. Oh my God, I want to be a YouTuber. But like, it's like, well, what have you got to offer? Like, find out what you really love. And I think if you really are passionate about something, people are going to pick up on that, and they're also going to be passionate. What I find most, you know, even when I watch things, like even like a nature documentary, and what distinguishes like one person from another for me is that it's the person that is so like genuinely into their job and what they do is what really watch, because it makes me excited when I see them excited. So, you know, I'm not surprised when I made those handbag videos where I'm like, this is my handbag. Like, I feel like my audience could feel it. But the handbag videos that still do very well, they're still remaining in my top 10 are the ones that I was really passionate about, because you can just hear it in my voice, you can see it in my face. So it is all about you doing something you genuinely love, and people are going to see that and want to just join in whatever you're doing.
Yeah, totally. I 100% agree. I think the biggest trap I tend to fall into, because being as ADD as I am, I want to be everything all the time. And like the biggest trap I fell into with the music thing is that I wanted the outcome of being in the music industry. I didn't want to have to do the things that it took to get there, like do shows 3-4 nights a week and put my personal feelings and beliefs out there in a song, and have people actually hear that and have people judge that. Now I don't care, but like back then, that was I wasn't prepared for that, which is why now like I'm real happy to do that. I'm actually, the next thing me and Simba are going to get into is streaming.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, like really like the idea of being able to have like a direct connection with the people that I'm talking to. Have you ever done any streaming?
I have. I've done some live streams in the past, and the audience does really like it. Apparently it's not good for revenue, but it's really good for your audience. It's good for you as a channel, because it creates connection for them. It creates an emotional bond for them, because they get to know you raw, unedited, you know. But I think streaming's a great idea.
That's really cool. So 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 you stream through YouTube, right? You said? Yeah. We're looking at maybe doing through Twitch, because you can because I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'm not a gamer. So like. So
you're going to stream your interviews through Twitch?
Oh no! I'm going to do something completely different through Twitch. I'm going to keep the podcast as it is, have the vlogs as their thing, and then do gaming, and just try to diversify as much as I can.
I hear loads of good things about Twitch. It's just that's just another thing that I have to worry about. I eventually definitely want to get into more, what am I looking for, that word? More outlets, because it kind of scares me. YouTube, you know, Pete, YouTube is, every year they're limiting, you know, they're having, it's kind of scary. Even I have to worry sometimes or edit out, like, oh, how is that going to be interpreted? I don't want to be bloody cancelled for someone misinterpreting something I say. If you have the if you say something wrong, if you don't go in line with whatever, you know, it's so extreme, especially because YouTube is so American. You know, majority of your audience is American, and it's I have to be careful. Like, you can't share everything. Yeah,
you're so right. Cancel culture is brutal, like, and especially considering things that we like. I don't know, 15 years ago is not that long ago. 10 years ago is not that long ago. And the zeitgeist at 10 years ago, and like what was culturally appropriate or socially appropriate then, it's vastly different now.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to dredge up. I don't want people in 10 years from now to dredge up a tweet or like a video of me making a joke about something innocuous because, I don't know, you know, I made a joke about people who wear gray sweatshirts, and, you know, in 10 years from now, everyone who wears gray sweatshirts is a minority. And they're going to be offended by that.
I'm very unconventional. I'm not political. I don't like the two-party system at all. And in America, being in my shoes, it's almost like, well, if you're not on a side, then you're just as bad as the other side.
Right.
It's almost looked on like I'm a dirty centralist. I'm not even a centralist. I don't identify with either party. Because I think the extreme sides of either party are both bloody insane. And it's so tribalist, and I feel like it divides the country more.
Oh, it does.
I agree.
Yeah, it definitely does.
And you get attacked if you don't vote for Biden. Like, you know, that's the thing. If you don't want to vote for Biden, they're like, well, you're basically, you know, sucking Trump's dick then. And you know what I mean? It's just like, you know, but it's like people don't allow you to exercise the freedom you are supposed to be entitled to in this country.
Right.
And I'm like, thank God I'm not American. I don't even have to vote. I can't vote. So I kind of like it now when people are like, well, who are you voting for? I'm like, I'm a dirty immigrant. Nobody.
That's so true. That's so funny. That's weird. Like, we're like,
I love that.
It's like everybody feels like they're like part of the social collectiveness, like a hive mind, and you're not even an individual anymore. That's so
like,
weird.
I have my green card, America. I have my green card.
I'm so glad that I'd be in that same position if I came over. I don't want that kind of pressure.
It does give me a kind of pass, you know. They're like, oh, right.
Yeah, that's cool. At least you have that.
Exactly.
And I'm born in Canada. We are not like that. Canadians are not like that at all. You know, they criticize Americans so much for how tribalist it is over here, the hate and the division. The political nature over there is not like that. People are very friendly. Canada.
Do they talk a lot about who they're voting for in America? Like, is that an open conversation?
It's not supposed to be, but it is. It's very open. I mean, people will just be attacked on the street if they're wearing some sort of, you know, t-shirt or whatever that they're supporting, especially if you're supporting Trump. You can get violently attacked, and the opposite side as well. Like, it's just crazy.
Have you seen that video of that guy who goes into a vape shop with a Make America Great Again hat, like a MAGA hat? Have you guys seen that?
No.
He's literally just wearing a Make America Great Again hat on. He's a white guy. He goes into the shop and he just wants to buy vape juice. But the guy over the counter refuses to serve him, calls him a racist, abuses him. There's an African-American guy in the shop, and the guy in the shop is like, I don't care about his hat. Just sell him the vape juice so you can sell me vape juice. But the guy's like, he just starts going, Ree! And like freaking out, and he refuses to sell him, and he swings at him over the counter, and the guy's filming the whole thing, just being like, dude, I just want to buy vape juice. It is like the most, I thought you guys froze again.
No, we're still
Oh,
here.
thank God, I freaked out. You guys got me. You went so still. What happened then? You guys are like lizards. Okay, yeah. Anyway, it was a great video. I'll link it to you guys after this. It's just unbelievable to see like a human being get to this point of like, it's almost like he reverted back to being a child again.
It's really insane.
Oh man. Yeah.
I do feel the pressure because they're saying here in America now, silence is violence. So if you're not constantly posting on your social media and you're not constantly going to protest, you're considered a violent racist. And I think that analogy is completely flawed and it's completely fundamentally wrong. Being silent is not the same thing as being violent or supporting the other side. Some people are just afraid to say anything, you know, and I'm one of those people that I don't want to get into any of that. You know, they're having the battles, and of course, you know, being an ethnic, of course I'm all for BLM and all that, but there's also a lot of toxicity coming from
you don't want to make yourself a target. You know? Like it's insane.
You just can't say anything now. So
I was raised to not discuss politics. That's
with a YouTube channel, Pete. It's just like better to just not talk about politics at all.
I don't engage. Like I mean, in New Zealand it's different. It's considered so rude to even discuss that stuff. You have the Facebook pages and people who are keyboard warriors and they talk about this and that. And every time the Prime Minister does a live stream, you get like, it's almost like 50-50. You get like, who is this devil bitch? And then like, yay, Jacinda's the greatest. And like, you know, like, and I'm just like, I don't see the benefit in anybody knowing where I sit with this. This is personal. Like, and that's the problem. Everyone's so worried about the collective. I'm worried about me. Like, I think everyone should vote for things that benefit their lives and benefit their community, not about who they believe is. Like, it shouldn't be about the person. Who gives a shit about the person? Vote for the person whose policies are going to help. Vote for the person who's like, you know, who cares how likable they are as long as they're doing right by everybody and by the whatever. I don't even understand any of those policies anyway because I don't give a shit. Or, you know, but like it's, but that's what he was. And the other guy was like, no, you're a racist. That's it.
Right.
And there's no delineation between that. So like, and I think that's a real unfair way to treat people.
But that's the problem with a two-party system though.
100%.
It doesn't, it either on one side or you're on the other. And then that just causes way more divide, way more friction. It's weird. I don't get it.
Terrible. And it's such a strong thing here. So strong. Like even my roommates, I love them both. I lived with them. One was a Democrat, the other one's a Republican, and they're best friends. So when he voted for Trump, she lost her shit, didn't speak to him for a couple of days, but she got over it and was able to look past it, and they're still very close. But I could just feel it's not between them, but I'm not political at all, but the Republican one, and he's lovely as a person, but he's always just talking shit about Democrats all the time and talking shit about the left and just sending me memes about like, you know, it's just always, it's such a us against them. And I just,
It's so funny to me.
At the end of the day, I don't think,
it's like it's like they talk about the left or they talk about the right. And I'm like, who the fuck are these people? Like, I don't know the left or the right. I know my friend. I don't even know where Simba sits. I don't know where anyone, like, and it's like, I don't want to know, like, because I don't want to view my friend as left or right. I want to view my friend as my friend, you know, the person that I care about. So, like,
people like cleansing their Facebook pages due to political views is just insanity.
It's crazy.
Like, I can understand if they're spreading hate and you're going to delete them, but just by their political stance alone, you can't judge across all their views just because of your president's dick, you know.
Yeah.
I know. And like when I left the UK, the Brexit thing just happened. I mean, it hasn't happened yet, but the decision was made when I left, like at that point. And I feel tension was very similar to America, which was kind of, you know, people were just like, if we're not part of the EU, then fuck England. And I'm like, whoa, you know.
Jeez.
From my point of view, when it comes to law, people don't realize it's immigration is a very small fraction of Brexit. I think the EU is a double-edged sword. It's very good when it comes to certain things, and it's very irritating when it comes to other things, especially when it comes to the law. Like, they literally could infiltrate and come into any one of our courts and overrule any one of our highest judges. Like, that's uncomfortable for me.
Yeah, for sure.
It's good in a way if our country was corrupt and they're not doing the citizenship, but we have such an admired and very respectable jurisdiction. There's very little, there's very few circumstances where we would need the EU to come in and, but there are times where the EU have gone in and overruled, but then there are times where we were able to basically not let them overrule us. That caused a lot of craziness too over there. It kind of divided people as well in the UK.
Yeah,
I bet it would. I feel honestly like blessed to live in New Zealand a lot of the time when I see stuff like that. We just don't have things like that there, like here. I mean, like there is. If we do have to go back into another lockdown, I am going to instate zombie apocalypse rules and like that's it, boarding up the windows. If anyone displays any symptoms, play bird shooting. But that's it. That's all. That's the only thing I'd do. Like, it's yeah. But honestly,
you don't have that you don't have to kind of experience that all the time, because you can just feel the tension here all the time. It's kind of stressful, even though I'm not involved in it and I'm not American. It's still stressful to be around.
I can understand that, because the thing is, like, I get stressed out. I'll watch like debates on YouTube, or like see these things that happen at the universities over in America, and these speakers come in and like right and left, and they preach just some shit, and everyone it's all about just catering to like these individuals' anger and just trying to get a rise out of people, and it makes me stressed out, and I don't even live in the same hemisphere, so like
I know.
I can't understand how people in that zone aren't biting each other's faces right now. Like that's how,
yeah. Like you watch the news, and that just gives me anxiety seeing all the stuff that's going on.
I don't go and like I don't go out to watch the news. I don't try to watch the news, because it comes up in my feed. You can't help it. It comes up.
Yeah, exactly.
It comes up everywhere. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. You're going to see it. So there's no point me turning on the news and watching it. Like I see. Yeah.
Oh, I'm pressing the wrong button. Yeah, I agree. I think like it's better. Like, although one thing is, like, if we're kind of like living where we live, it kind of shelters us a little bit to some of the realities that happen over there. And I think like there's an element of maybe needing to have a percentage of that stuff in your life, so you kind of are on the pulse of what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
And you kind of, because the thing about New Zealand is I think we're like a year or two behind the rest of the world in certain things. And we're probably too small a population for those kind of things to take place. So, but I imagine like a lot of that stuff, like even in our universities, if you ever go on Vic Deals, Simba, have you ever been on Vic Deals?
No.
Yeah. Vic Deals is like this Wellington kind of Facebook group. And there's about 70,000 members, and it is just the same sort of shit. And it's all university students. It's not like not real people. Do you know what I mean? Like when I but I mean, like it's all these like like us three, like we're real people. But like these people on these groups are all just like shitting on each other and just saying, it's just like constant tension and and creating
and conflict, and who's right and who's wrong.
Yeah, and it's just very political, and it's super unnecessary. So I got invited to another group like that, and it was even worse. And it was essentially like, they're just hate mobs. I removed myself after 5 minutes of being in that group and just seeing 3 other posts. I was like, no, I don't want to be part of a hate mob. I've got way too much. Like I've got like things to do.
I'd rather focus on more positive things and things that bring you kind of peace and happiness over stress.
Yeah. So, like, getting off this topic, what's next for you, Tina? Like, what's your dreams? Where are you going to go from here?
Well, the story of my life. It's just My whole journey has been so random. It's like I'm in Vegas one minute, I'm in London next minute. But I've always just followed what I feel. And sometimes I wonder whether that's good or not, because people who are very regimented, when they're younger, they follow the path, and then by the time they're 25, they got it all figured out. But with me, it's always like, what was I happy with? So it really had me bouncing back and forth, like ricochet, like I want to do this, I want to do that. But now I'm like, I committed to this because I really do want my career just off the road. Even though I love Vegas and dance, there's no job security in it. With the arts in general, there's no job security. If something happens to me physically, I'm screwed. I can't pay my bills if I can't dance. So, and I might as well do law because I've already got my degrees. It's just kind of, I'm like in a midway. I can't go back and I have to go forward.
Right.
So hopefully after this, I'll be qualified and then try to start my career. It's terrifying though, it really is, because I've always been a dancer, entertainer, model. That entertainment industry's nature to me. I know it. I've never worked in a law firm. I've done a few internships. That's not the same thing. I've never actually,
I think you'll be fine. Like, the thing about you is I've found just from our brief interactions is that you remind me, someone gave me some advice once, and they told me to assume formlessness and just flow like water. And they said, like, what happens when you do that is that the people who you think have their lives mapped out, the people who have their high school girlfriend and they go up to marry them when they're 25 and they study this thing and they go into this career, they're the people who don't actually really experience life to the degree that you probably need to make informed decisions. So like, they're the ones who, they lock themselves into this plan they think is the plan because someone else set that plan out for them. And then they get here and they're like, this is not what I want.
Right.
I agree with you. I totally agree. I have friends who did all that and had the family in the house, and now they're getting divorced and they've got kids. They've got divorce and I can't even imagine that kind of responsibility. Family and kids and marriage has never been a priority for me. It used to be when I was a teenager, before I lived my life. But after moving here and doing this and doing that, I don't want that. I feel like, I'd want to find a partner, but marriage and kids is not a priority for me. And I'm very happy never doing these things.
Yeah, and I feel the same.
I feel like if you're happy and you can be together, you can just bloody be together. You have to, God, I studied family law. You don't want to get married. That stuff is... Totally. When I was my first month in family law, I was like, I can't deal with this. I'm never going to get married and I'm going to quit this class because it was just so... It's just like, why would anyone want to do that to themselves? I mean, it's great for people who work out, but it is a gamble. You don't know.
Oh, yeah.
It's
the
a risk.
thing is, I know that one day that might be on the cards for me, but I don't feel like any pressure to do that. I mean, like, I'm happy with, I love my partner. I'm happy with her. I would love to marry her. I'd love to have kids with her. But when that happens, that's going to happen. There's no pressure on me. I feel like a lot of my friends who did go down that path and, were married by 23, are divorced already, or have followed this plan into a career that they realize they didn't like, and they've wasted all their time doing that, where I've just been like, I think the three of us have a similarity there, where we've been in flux, going where the world has taken us.
That's the word I always use when I talk about my position. I've been in flux for the last 10 years. In flux.
But it's good because you're not stuck to anything, right?
Yeah, exactly. It builds a certain character. It makes you flexible. So I think you going into law now, you've put yourself in such a position that whatever comes, whatever happens, you're able to adjust. Right. That's the kind of character that you built for yourself. You're not the type of person that's like stuck to something and you can't see any other way in doing anything. You built yourself like this mindset that whatever happens, you're going to be able to adjust to it. So now, look, you're going to be fine. Totally. Trust us. You'll be amazing at whatever you decide to do because you're just that kind of person. You have that creativity. You have that mindset. Like, we're not worried about you, so you shouldn't be either.
You got a kick-ass attitude.
Yeah, very sweet.
It's badass.
Yeah.
You got a badass attitude.
But what you said, Pete, about going into the career early, that's what my ex did. Not my ex, I guess the ex before the ex. But he, you know, right after uni, like 21 years old, he was headhunted.
Yeah.
And they, you know, shuffled right to the bank, investment banking immediately after, and then hated his job for 10 years. Just hated it. Absolutely hated it. Even though he had the money and, you know, he could do this and that, like his work hours in the UK, it's like you have to be in the office by 8. Takes you like an hour to commute by tube. And then you're in the office till like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. And then you have to be, there's no quality of life. They work around, especially with investment banking. Apparently it's worse in America.
Yeah, I bet.
So what a lot of young people do is they're like, okay, I'm going to be in here for like 5 years, get all the money, and then leave. But often you don't leave. Like my ex had told me that they kind of brainwash you when you're young into believing that money is absolutely everything. Yeah. And then instead of like get out, and now he totally switched his career path, but he felt like he stayed in too long. So even though to the outside it looked like he had a shit together, you know, and I admired that about him when I met him. I was like, oh my God, you have your shit together. You have a nice car, you have a nice house, and you know, you're doing everything. I found him to be very inspiring. And I was like, I wish I was like that. But then it's like, he didn't really, he hated his life.
Yeah.
And he hated what he was doing. And he kind of wished that he kind of woke up earlier. But sometimes that's what happens when you just rigid on this path.
Yeah. I felt, I agree. Like I had guilt for a long time that I was such a slow start. And
likewise,
I didn't have the high school sweetheart. I didn't go into a good career. Like I went into like supermarkets and like scraping, like I worked in a shoe shop and I spent most of my time like scraping old lady crust out of shoes because they try on like it's disgusting. And I just hated that. But I think
labor is good though. I think everyone should do something laborious and arduous.
Yeah.
I never knew the value of $1 until I was busting my ass waitressing and being on my feet for double shifts, and I'd come home and my feet would crack and it'd be so painful, I'd be crying, and I'm like, that's work. And that made me appreciate, you know, having a job and appreciate the value of money.
Yeah, for sure.
And then appreciate you know, when you go to a restaurant and you have somebody serving you, you know, you appreciate that waitress.
Exactly. Dick to everyone.
Exactly.
You know?
That nothing pisses me off more than when people are rude to wait stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just like, that's a trait. You should get an elbow to the face for that. Like, and that's one of the things actually, like I make an effort when I go to places to make that interaction enjoyable as much as I can. Because I was that guy. I worked in a restaurant. I worked in a shoe shop. I worked in sales. I worked everywhere and did all the shit jobs. And like, it just kind of, you know, teaches you those things. But I mean, I think, you know, the crazy thing is like, if I did all those things I wanted to do, or that I thought were the right things to do, I wouldn't have gotten to a point where I actually met the right partner. And I wouldn't have gotten to the point, like I'm in it, like, I don't really talk about my career outside of this stuff because there's a clause in my contract. I don't really want to like, but I'm in a job outside of this that I found late, but really love. And I'm respected and I'm looked after and I really enjoy what I do every day.
That's really good.
And the cool thing is they love me to the point where like everyone there knows I do this. Like I don't feel like I have to hide who I am, and I don't have to, you know, and like they're you know, like I get to do my creative stuff, have an actual career. I have my own house now, and I have a partner that I'm in love with.
Amazing.
And I found all that. I mean, like you know, it took me 30 years to find that stuff, but pretty happy, you know, like it does.
But I think it's, you know, the prime, I feel like the 30s and 40s are the prime now.
Oh yeah.
You know, especially that humans live to be almost, especially our generation, we're going to live to be bloody 100. Like we're still really young.
Yeah, totally.
You know, I think in your 20s, you're still a child. You have no idea. How can you possibly make a decision for the rest of your life when you're 25? Like you don't know anything. You haven't lived life.
I wish I could delete my 20s. Like if I could just control that would be the best for me. Because I thought I knew everything, and it's not till I got to my 30s. Like even this year, this has been the hardest, most taxing, most emotionally draining, most incredible, most like growth year for me. I've changed so much in just the last, like in the last 8 months, I've grown dramatically. In the last 3 weeks, I've grown more than I have in the entire last
Wow.
8 months. And it's just one of those things that like, I'm only going to keep improving, and I'm going to get to my 40s and be like, man, my 30s were shit compared to this, because I'm only just going to keep them, you know, and, you know, it's a good place to be. I think the 30s are the win. So.
Right.
Yeah.
I think making a decision now for career is better than the 20s. I mean, if I decided what I wanted to do when I was 19, I would have been like, yeah, 10 kids, marriage, I'll be happy.
Yeah, boom.
I know.
Yeah. I thought that too, though. All I talked about was kids for ages, and now I'm like, how the fuck would I raise a kid right now? Like, you know.
At least when you decide to do it, you're going to be old enough that it will be the right decision when you do.
Yeah, totally.
I feel like it's just so risky. Not saying that people don't do it successfully, but I do have a lot of friends who told me, you know, I love my kids, but I wish I waited like you.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
that's
at
totally
least
true.
20-year commitment right there. You can't travel, you can't do anything you want. You're totally down.
Yeah, and I haven't even seen the world yet. Like, I want to go explore the world and do fun things, and you know, take Hannah to like. Yeah, not with a little one, you know, hanging off my ankle the entire time, crying on flights. Get out of here. Noise canceling headphones. That's how I parent. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Like, I'm kidding. It'd be like, you know, obviously, you know, that'd be cool one day, but.
Well, I think that's a voice of maturity right there, you know? Because once you do that, that's it. It's like, your life isn't yours, it's the kid after that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, Tina, we've been doing this for probably about an hour and 40 minutes, which is a pretty good run for us. So we'll probably wrap it up here, but I'd love to have you on as a guest again one day if you're keen for that.
I feel like we didn't even talk about much.
I know.
We still have so much more to talk about.
I know. That's what happens when you have a good guest. You just kind of get wrapped up in conversation.
Thank you. Like, you guys are great interviewers. I feel like I want to know more about you guys.
Make a podcast. Invite us on.
Right.
I have a podcast on my channel, so definitely.
Yeah, cool. Awesome.
Can I have you to guest, actually?
100%. We'll be your first guest.
Okay.
Deal.
Okay.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to say thank you so much for being here. We've loved talking to you. You've been really great. Also helping me a lot with my YouTube stuff and just giving me advice and being an awesome sounding board for me to run ideas by and things in the last couple of weeks. So I want to say thank you heaps for that. And we're just like, this has been a great podcast. I honestly can't wait to get to the editing process. So what I'm going to do is I'll put you,
so much fun.
If it's okay, I'll put you in the waiting room. That means Simba will wrap up, and then I'll just bring you back in, and we just have a little bit of a debrief, if that's okay.
All right. Okay.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Tina.
Sure.
Oh, wow.
Dude.
That was a great podcast.
That was.
A couple of technical difficulties, but we did good.
Yeah. We got there in the end. Oh, man. That was, wow. Good talk.
Yeah. You know what? I've kind of noticed it looks like we're in the same room.
It kind of does, right?
That's cool.
And we could literally be like right next to each other.
Yeah.
I wish I could just like reach out and in my hand just, oh, hey, buddy. There you are.
Man.
Hey, bro.
Wow, I'm beat. Like I'm under the weather, but I felt like I really enjoyed that. Tina, honestly, she's got so much to talk about, and
she does. We need to have her on again. Because...
We do. Yeah, we do. She's a switched on character. I would love to have her on again. She's so and she's got an attitude, bro. Like she's got attitude. She doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So okay, look. Well, what we'll do is we'll wrap it up because this is a long one. But just want to say R.I.P. Chadwick. Wakanda forever. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And also check out my channel, Pete's Vlogs. And check out Tina's channel, which will be in the description. And check out Simba's channel in the future when I get him to make a YouTube channel. Don't forget to keep an eye out. We're going to be on Twitch soon. Also... we love you. I think that's pretty much it, right?
I think that's it. Yeah.
Awesome. Oh, and if you haven't seen AFK, go watch AFK. What are you doing? What are you doing with your life?
We haven't even talked about A.K.A today. Oh, that's
Yeah,
weird.
A.K.A. I don't know if
That's
you can see
weird.
it, but your framed picture of the framed card of Quinn is right there.
This is just in the back. Yeah, I
Well,
can see
both
it.
of my Captain
I can see it.
Americas. Both of my Captain Americas are guarding him.
Oh, that's nice.
All right. Well, thanks for watching the Pete and the Pod
Right.
podcast. I've been Pete. This has been my pod, and this is my beautiful, amazing, talented, handsome, wonderful best friend and co-host, Simba Matshe, A.K.A. Simba, A.K.A. Quimba, A.K.A. Quinn from AFK. I'm so out of it.
Mouthful.
I'm so out of it. I'm going to take some medicine. I'm going to go buy some furniture now. It's exciting. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And this is, I'm just having a blast with this, man.
This is so good.
Yeah.
So good.
Should we finish it with our cut?
Yeah, let's do it.
3, 2, 1.
2, 1.